Hey guys, so I got this log chucked up. I did not film the sketchy part of me trying to get this into round. The lathe is bolted to the ground or bolted to my floor, and it was shaking pretty violently yesterday. I did. I started this on Saturday. Today's Sunday, and it took me most of the afternoon just to get it into round. This is going to be another dog urn. So I got that part done yesterday, which was totally sketch. I I just tried to get it into round so that it was a little bit easier to work with today. Yeah, second day working on this. So it's a beautiful piece of maple. So I have one crack that I'm not sure what to do with. I don't know, where did it go? It was here. It was right there. So basically what I got to try to do is I'm just going to try to get this shape down just a little bit more. I've kind of got a basic shape in my head. What the wood has kind of dictated it wants to look like, so, which is kind of cool. I think it'll be a cool design. So basically I'm going to try to take this and I'm going to round this over. So, and then round this over, and then you'll have the lid that'll go on it so that the center part is going to be bigger than the bottom or the top. So, but it'll be kind of cool. So here, I'll show you a piece that I cut this off of. Just so you can see it, what it looks like. That's the piece that I cut it off of. And I mean, as you can tell, it's still pretty big. This stuff is extremely wet and still very, very heavy. So, but the grain pattern on this thing is just absolutely gorgeous. If you can't tell by the piece itself, that this is just, it's gorgeous wood. So, so basically I'm just going to try to take this down, start shaping, get it so that I can get my ring off, get a tenon on here so that I can chuck it up the right way. I didn't know how else to chuck this thing yesterday, so I just found center, put the ring on it. It was still off just because this wood is so wet. So I'm probably going to be doing this in like stages just so that it has a chance to dry, but not dry too quickly. So work on it a little bit, and then we're going to let it sit. Work on it a little bit, and then let it sit, just so that this moisture will come out evenly. And that way, hopefully, the cracks that are in it already, which I will try to go ahead and fill. I'll probably fill them with like CA glue. CA glue gets down into those cracks. It really, especially the thin stuff, it gets down into the cracks. Then you just got to spray the accelerator. But I mean, it's a beautiful piece. I just thought I'd kind of check this up and see what I could get going on it yesterday. It was extremely sketch. I've got 4 cinder blocks, a ratchet strap. The lathe is bolted to the floor and it was still shaking extremely violently. So it might be time to go buy myself a bigger lathe one with a little bit more stable legs that can be bolted to the ground. I have a bolt pattern now, but I don't know if, when I get the new one, I don't know if it'll match up. But if I do, it ought to be pretty interesting. And then if I do, then I've got a little bit bigger throw. Yesterday I could not get could not get my tool rest to go underneath the piece of wood. I literally had probably, well, I don't know, about a 1/4 inch to about 1/2 inch underneath, and that was all I could do. But now I can slide my tool rest back and forth, so which is kind of nice. This one has really tested my ability to have a bigger lathe and be able to chuck stuff up that is in full log form to start turning. So it's been fun. And all the sawdust that's on the ground has come off of this log. So I have really had some fun with this one. Tried to kill myself with it, but hey, the screws came out. The screws that I used are the normal screws that I normally use, but I had to actually beef up the screws and put some different screws in here so that it would actually hold, because physically the screws came out yesterday while I was trying to get it into round, and they popped. And then my tailstock, with it being so wet, it had a lot of moisture so that it could move, and it started moving up and down with my tailstock. I've got a point on it. You probably say, well, why didn't you have a point on it? Well, I do have a point on it. I don't have the super ones on there, which you notice from some of my other videos. So I did go down. I bought these. It's an entire kit, so you could see how teethy those are. And then this center point is spring loaded. So I have these, and I have them in different sizes. So I have like super big, tiny, and my medium. So yeah, and I didn't use these just due to the fact that I wanted it to have something a little bit more secure, because I knew this thing was gonna get out of round, or was out of round. No matter what you do, you're not gonna have it. It's not gonna be dead nuts perfect. So the also deciding factor on that was you've got a branch that was coming out at some given point in time, and so you'll have different growth rate on that particular side of the tree. So that was also a deciding factor yesterday for me to have it so that it was a little bit more secured. But it's turning out so far. So we're gonna just let this sit from yesterday. I don't want to take too much off at one time. So late yesterday afternoon, I finally got it into round. And just to show you that it's still, just because of the moisture content, I mean, it's still shaking the lathe pretty good. I don't know if you can see that real well, but you can see it. It's still shaking the lathe pretty good. So I did bolt this thing down to the floor. When I started working on trying to get my other new lathe, I went ahead and did some rearranging. I got some rubber mats for the shop for standing on, because I'm in between the two lathes pretty consistently or pretty regularly. So, which is nice to be able to stay on mats that don't fatigue me or mess up my lower back. So, which is kind of nice. So, just thought I'd check this thing up late yesterday. I was going to put the camera on. I'll get down here so you guys can see me. All right. You didn't want to see me anyway, so I really don't care. But okay. I wanted to get started on this. It's been sitting in the shop. I was trying to let it dry more naturally, so that way, if you let it dry more naturally, it's going to be better for the wood. The wood doesn't move quite as much. I did get this stuff from my brother-in-law and my sister. So basically, they sealed the ends for me. So what I'm almost thinking is I might try to put some sand and sealer on this now and just kind of seal the edge or seal this up a little bit so that it doesn't dry too quickly on me, because that will also play consideration on, now that I've got it chucked, I just don't want it to dry too quick. But the other thing is too, is when it does start moving, I'll have to go back in and reshape it. So right now I still have enough to play with so that I can take it down a little bit more if I have to get it back into more of a round. And I did do a little bit this morning, just kind of playing around with it. I just took one quick pass on it just to see how bad it really was. It wasn't too bad. So I think letting it sit for a couple more days like this, now that you've got the bark off of it and everything else is kind of squared on it, we'll let it play out. So I've got a couple other projects I want to try to get done today, so I'm going to try to work on those instead today. But I thought I'd just do a quick short video on my almost foobar yesterday. But it's turning out, it's playing up pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. I really love the grain pattern. They wanted it a darker color, so I'm going to go in. I've got a couple of this other piece that I've got. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to run a couple stains on it. They wanted it darker, so just my natural finishes that I normally do, they wanted it a little bit darker. So I've got some stains and I need to kind of play with those, which I might try to play with today for a couple of those stains. And then I might try to do a couple of different other things that I've been playing with for techniques, for finishing, and then let them kind of pick what they want out of the ones that I do. So we'll see how this plays out. I mean, we've got these really nice dark spots in it, which I don't know how that'll play out. So I don't know if I want to, I don't know if I want to check this other piece up. I want to kind of leave this one on. So, and I'm not putting that piece on my mini lathe. So we're not doing that. So, I tested its limits probably about a month ago. So I think its limits, I know what its limits are. So we're not going to do that because the stuff is really wet, really heavy, and I need this lathe could handle it. I'm at the slowest speed that I can get on this lathe. Yes, do I wish that I could have had belts to switch to take it down even more? Yes, I do. I think that being able to start out at a real slow speed would have killed a lot of the vibration. I had to start this at the lowest it's at, which I think, let me look at my chart. I don't remember what I did. Oh my God. Which it says it's in one is like 600 RPM, which I think if I could have started this out at 4 or less, and I don't think I even got it into the one slot, and I couldn't get it into the one slot. So number 2, 750 RPM. So I just think that a variable speed where you can dial it is so much more precise. So I'd get it chucked yesterday and I turn it on. She wobble. I had to figure out how to get more weight on the lathe itself to hold it down. And I'm glad I bolted it down, because this thing would have walked all over the shop yesterday. I mean, I probably would have been picking it up on the other side of my shop. So, no, I bolted it down, and it was good. I liked it because this is my spot. This is the spot that I like to turn. And let me show you why. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Here, let's adjust this. We'll bring this. Excuse me. All right. So as you can tell in the background, right over there, those are my mountains. And I have this view right out my window. I love my view of my mountains. I have my deck, which literally faces that direction, and it faces all those mountains, and I can see them every day, all day long, and it just makes me happy. So this is my spot. So that's why I bolted it down right here in this particular spot, so that I could look at my mountains all day long. So I think we'll let this guy go. I just wanted to get up a quick video today, about a 17, 20-minute video. I wanted to say hi. Hope everybody's doing well. So next weekend, I probably will not be doing a video. That's why I'm doing this short one today. And then last weekend, I worked at the store at the 406. We did move. We moved from one end of the mall down by Macy's. We moved from there. We moved to the other end of the mall, down by where they're actually doing all the construction stuff, and where they plan on putting in the medical center and surgical center, some other medical stuff, which I think is, and personally myself, I think is going to be awesome, because there's going to be a lot more foot traffic in there. Then we also have Spartan race. I don't know how many of you guys know the Spartan stuff. It is a grueling race, and this old guy would just rather sit and watch it on TV drinking beer. So that's going to be coming up in end of May, first part of June. So the store is going to be busy. The town's going to be busy. They're anticipating like 17,000 people or something like that. 10 to 17, somewhere in there, which could be interesting for Bozeman. And they keep building hotels. So maybe they had an anticipation that with all these hotels that they're building, that's what was happening. I don't know. So, but yeah, so we moved. We went down to the other side. I worked at the mall last week. So I didn't get a video up, sorry. This week, I'll put this one up. I'll get this one done tonight once I go in for the evening. I don't have a whole lot of stuff that I put back in the shop. I put another birdhouse, another bird feeder. I still have measuring spoons, I have to do. I've got those checked up. That's one of my projects to get done today. I had to fix a jewelry box. I got a jewelry box fixed, and so I'll be taking that back in. and getting that done. I got a bunch of the pens done, so my pens are all restocked in there. Graduation for the college. Everybody seems to think that those things are going to sell like hotcakes, which they probably will. I have a few more pens, but I'm going to have to probably make another order to Penn State and see if I can get more pens coming. I was buying them in kits, so they'd come with 4 or 5 pens and the bushings and everything you needed to make that particular pen. So I think what I might do, I haven't even started drinking yet today. We have a few different things going on. Get some orders in. I just need to make sure my stuff is stocked and done and ready to go. We're going to have some fun. Stay in the wood shop and work. All right, guys. I just wanted to say hi, let you know I'm still kicking. And yeah, I'll still be kicking for lots more years yet. So just keep an eye out. All right. See ya.